One huge unlock when using Shade for all of your post-production workflow is the inherited metadata that comes over from your camera's files. Now, what I mean by this is your camera is constantly capturing information about the shot itself, whether it's the settings that the aperture of the lens is on, the shutter speed, ISO. It can even be as simple as the type of camera or the date that it was actually captured, or maybe even the frame rate. The point is your camera's already capturing all these things, but in other apps, when you bring your data over to them, this data just goes away. This metadata just disappears. But in Shade, obviously, it's a little different. So basically, the way that this works is there are all these different metadata options in the already existing system specific metadata. And simply by turning them on, you're going to see your aperture, for instance, come up here. Now, this is not the best example for aperture because the shooter in this scenario is actually using a manual lens that didn't have any electric communication. So we don't have any aperture data for this, but we do have the shutter speed. We've got the ISO, right? We can see some of these are at 800, some of them are at 6400. I happen to know that the environment was pretty dark. We have the megapixels, the lens it was shot on. Obviously, if you were on an electronic lens, you'd have that. We also have the codec, the frame rate, the date that it was created. All of these things can be super beneficial. And let me explain how a workflow like this could play out. Essentially, let's say that you've got a handful of different cameras capturing an event, and everyone is shooting and getting tons of footage and photos and everything like that. And through your review process, you find that a specific shutter speed, aperture, and ISO setting is actually reaping the best results. And so to quickly cull through all of your footage or photos, you can simply create a custom view where those specifications are selected. So I can select a custom view that will just show me all of the clips that have the 1/48 shutter speed. And then if I wanted to hone that in even more, I can select another custom view, do ISO, select condition is number value 6400. Boom. So now I'm going to only see the images or the videos that have the correct shutter speed and the correct ISO values. So maybe another example of how you could use this would be, let's say that you have a bunch of different cameras shooting, but you need to find specific footage from a specific camera. So you simply select that camera specific model, and then you'd see all of the images or videos from that specific camera. So the possibilities with this can kind of go on and on, but what I'm really trying to get at here is that tapping into this inherited metadata that's already coming over from your camera will open up the possibilities of what you can do within your Shade workspace. And one last thing that I think is actually pretty cool. Let's get rid of this custom view and then let's just use AI search, okay? And I'm gonna simply search for people talking in a dark room. And I wanna do ISO value 800. Okay, so now I'm gonna see images and videos, and I can see some videos right here. Looks like we got some people talking in a dark room. Okay, there's a dark room, little sales kickoff here. And let's look at this. Let's see what our ISO value is. Boom, 800. Yes, we are getting into a little bit of the more technical side of your metadata, but it does all exist. And that's just a huge workflow level up when it comes to using Shade for all your post-production. So let me know in the comments if you're already using system metadata and then inherited metadata that comes from your camera, or if you haven't tapped into it yet. And if you haven't, let me know how you're gonna use it. But as always, thanks so much for watching and thanks for using Shade.